Alenia. And with me already in studio is Senator Aaron Cheruiyot from Kericho County, and also Dan Mazo, who is a member of Parliament for Makueni. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Yes.
morning, Kenya.
Morning. Yes. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Always up and early. And you always beat Dan Mazo to the punch in terms of making it on time. But Dan today has really tried.
Today he's done well. 2 minutes to 6 and he's here already.
He's here on time. So today is Otele Molo, who is running late a bit. And of course, also we were supposed to be joined by Honorable Rigathi Gachagua as well. But of course, latest development as far as yesterday's pronouncement, where he made a very, of course, revealing sentiment regarding the presidential candidate and also the running mate from Mount Kenya. So he's greatly shy to join the conversation this morning. But nonetheless, we continue with the conversation. But I'll be remiss if we don't start with the dailies. And if this is what you're waking up to this morning, we shall be joining this with our panelists here, Aaron Cheruiyot and also Dan Mazo. We begin with the Standard. This is what is on the front page of the Standard today. Kalonzo, man who holds Azimio fed, is what we have as a splash this morning. Kalonzo, man who holds Azimio's fed. This is what is on the front page of the Standard this morning. And it says, Uhuru succession. Wiper leader has kept allies and rivals guessing. Will he join hands with Raila and Uhuru? If he will, why has he welcomed Moses Kuria, their critic, into Oka? That is the question. The next 12 days will reveal his true colors and shape presidential poll. Wiper leader has kept allies and rivals guessing. Will he join hands with Raila and Uhuru? If he will, why has he welcomed Moses Kuria, their critic, into Oka? The next 12 days will reveal his true colors and shape presidential poll. And also just be reminded today he'll be making an announcement, of course, later in the day as well. If we may just have back the Standard so that we may continue showing Kenyans what is on the front page of the Standard as well. High-flying Kenyans splurge on helicopters. You can see that also on the front page of the Standard as well. Defying COVID. When other Kenyans were feeling the economic pain of COVID-19, the wealthy were importing aircraft, probably for campaigns. And you have the story on page 31 of the Standard this morning. And if I may just give you back the figures, just if we may hold back the dailies so that we may go through with our viewers as well to just give them the figures. 3.6 billion shillings there is the value of imported aircraft in 2020, the highest since 2013. Also an election year. 1.6 billion shillings, the total value of helicopters engines imported in 2021, mostly for spare parts. Also 10 billion shillings, value of helicopters imported from South Africa in 2005, the referendum year. And I'm just wondering if Aaron Cheruiyot and also Dan Mazo, yeah, they've got also their spoil in this as well. Yeah, the choppers. So you got one. Aaron Cheruiyot.
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not as of this time. Maybe by
not yet is you are waiting for it. Maybe it's actually yes being shipped.
No. Not likely to be in by this election. We will try the next one.
We'll do the next one. Dan Mazo?
Not yet, but look forward to having one day.
Yes. But you've been also hopping around, of course, with the campaign streets, yeah?
Yes, I have.
So you appreciate the convenience and comfort?
Yes. One time, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka had an helicopter. And therefore, we used to take a pleasure and a ride in it. But he gave it out for campaigns in Tanzania. And unfortunately crashed there. So I believe he will replace it this time. Yes.
Right, okay. This is what we have in the Standard today. Also, shock of dead voters still in IBC register, I should say. That is another story that you want to follow on the front page of the Standard there. We have new risk to integrity of polls emerges amid revelations that voters list has not been audited as law demands. I think also this will be an issue of discussion with the panelists here much later in the course of the program as well. We know that IBC were before the Parliamentary Accounts Committee yesterday, and this revelation really also astounded the members of the committee that still we don't have the verification of this voter register even after the enhanced voter registration exercise. And we might also be roped in a legal quagmire because the Election Act demands that at least 6 months before the elections, then the IBC would have by then vetted or verified the registration, cleaned up, so that we have a squeaky clean registration, as it were, to ward off the dead voters as it were. So this is quite revealing, and we shall see also that story continuing on page 8 of the Standard this morning. Also remember, we have the IBC CEO as an acting CEO still, and we wonder why 5 years down the line, and we have barely 5 months down to election, him in an acting capacity. They need to expedite this so that, yes, they may be carrying out their duties, fully, without any interference as well. That is what we have on the Standard. Deadline for varsity slots set for April the 1st. Deadline for varsity slots set for April the 1st. That is another story that you want to follow also inside the Standard. Now, Kenyan students caught up in Ukraine conflict. You can follow this story inside the Standard as well. That is on national page 14. And 100 investors eye special economic zones. That is on page 23 of the Standard this morning. This is how the Standard looks. Allow me to just pick up the Daily Nation for you quickly, and this is what is on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. Raila Kalonzo tensions spoil Azimio plans. Raila Kalonzo tensions spoil Azimio plans. That is a splash that you have on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. I zoom it, we just try and zoom it so that you can see it clearly there. And it says that 2003, that is a date in March this year, when Azimio coalition plans to hold a mega rally. That is the 12th of March, I should say. Date in March this year, when Azimio coalition plans to hold a mega rally in Nairobi after a series of campaigns across the country. The rally was scheduled for last Sunday, but was pushed forward at the last minute. Kalonzo has indicated before that he does not trust Raila, and on Saturday asked President Kenyatta to lead any talks on joining Azimio. That is what we have on the front page of the Daily Nation. Clash of the Titans. They have worked together before, building a formidable force under the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy that gave Kenyatta a run for his money in the last 2 elections. However, an acrimonious parting of ways last year has come back to haunt them. And even though they need each other now, the betrayal of the past sticks out like a sore thumb. Both want to lead the Azimio flag to elections, and both are stubborn to the core. What happens now? That is the abiding question. You have the story well fleshed out for you on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation today. Also, CAS, that is CS Magoha assures on security during test, is another story you can follow on the back page of the Daily Nation, while Mumias is Miwani in the making. A story on page 10 of the Daily Nation this morning. Also, we have a pull-out magazine there inside the Daily Nation this morning. On top here, Ruto brokers UDA poll pacts. Ruto brokers UDA poll pacts is another story that you can follow inside the Daily Nation today. From Nyeri to Kirinyaga to Tharaka Nithi.